Now we always hear about the bromances in Survivor, the Dom and Wendells, the Yowman and Earls, the JT and Stevens, and the list goes on. But what is often underappreciated is the amazing pairs of women within the show, and they deserve just as much recognition. So for that reason it's time to give some love to the bromance equivalent, the Sismances, the Womances, yes, the amazing female duos that have occurred within Survivor. Today at Analytical Strategy we'll be counting down the top 10 female duos in the show's history, with some phenomenal soul sisters that definitely need some more recognition. Some may be strategic duos, while some duos may have provided fantastic entertainment for our screens. Either way, I look forward to going through this list, and remember to drop your favourites down in the comments. So in 10th position we have Christine and Stacey from Survivor South Pacific. These two were an absolutely hilarious duo. Christine was an amazing character. From the moment she set eyes on the Dragon Slayer she wanted him dead to rights. It is nice that he's here, but he is a temporary player after all. This comment, along with isolating herself in the early stages of the game looking for the idol, did cost her socially with most of her tribe, but not with Stacey. These two became great friends within the game, but unfortunately it was short-lived. Christine then found a new best friend, called Redemption Island, and not long after she was sent there her buddy Stacey did join her, and this was really where this duo shined the most, coming in hot on their leader Coach. Wait, not Coach, Benjamin. Stacey went on a glorious rant about Coach Benjamin Wade, and Christine jumped right on board to ride along with her buddy Stacey. Moments later, Christine knocked Stacey out of the game as she continued to dominate the island until a relatively decent challenge competitor in Aussie took her out in the end. Again, it was a massive shame this duo was short-lived, but it was fantastic television while they were out there. And in 9th position we have the other side of the coin with Kim and Chelsea within Survivor One World. This duo, along with another core member of their alliance in Sabrina, were able to make it all of the way to the end of the game together. This duo was one of the saving graces within One World. Seeing them blossom within their friendship as the season went on was really great to see. These two did damage together throughout the whole season, really relying on one another throughout the game, and I believe still have a phenomenal friendship to this day. They were that tight out there. I believe Chelsea even said after filming in her exit interview that she deliberately bombed the final tribal council as she knew she had no chance of winning, and wanted any potential jury votes going her way to go to Kim, in the rare case Sabrina was able to take it out. Now if that isn't a phenomenal friendship, I don't know what is. Whilst Kim was the one running this season, Chelsea was someone she definitely always protected, and again it was just an amazing duo that stuck together from beginning to end. Now in 8th position we are going to go with Heidi and Jen from Survivor Worlds Apart. This duo hit it off as soon as they were paired up together on the No Collar tribe, both being free spirits that just clicked from the get-go. It was obvious from day one how strong of a pair they were, spending so much time together, from making their own surfboards to ride the waves, to running out for a cheeky skinny dip. It did not matter what activity they were up to, as long as they were by each other's sides they were able to have fun with it. Jen was so close to Hayley that after Hayley was voted out of the game, Jen's enthusiasm towards the game left with Hayley, as she did not really care for anyone else in the whole game except for maybe Joe. The next challenge she only tried to win to give the necklace to Joe so she could go drink cocktails with her bestie and Hayley at Ponderosa. These two were so great. They brought a new outlook on Survivor about it not being all about strategy and knowing every single detail, but more about being just out there to have fun and a good time. And while they were on the island together, they seemed to have an absolute ball. Now moving on to 7th position, I'm going to go with Aubrey and Sydney from Survivor Co Wrong. Now as Aubrey has returned to the game on multiple seasons, while Sydney took the time to focus on her career, this duo may get forgotten about now and then. But we must not forget, as they absolutely controlled the post-merge together once they joined forces. An unlikely duo on the surface, with at this stage of her life Aubrey seemed like a pretty anxious and shy individual that loved the game of Survivor, pairing with Sydney, an absolute tank and a half who looks like she could have beaten up Scott and Jason combined aligned if they came head to head. But putting the surface level stuff aside, these two minds joined forces perfectly in this game, and dominated together up until they had to battle it out, one-on-one in the fire making challenge to make it to that final 3. Aubrey was able to take the win here and send her buddy Sydney over to the jury. So whilst Brain and Brawn may look like an unlikely force, when they came together, they made one hell of a team. Now moving on to 6th position, we'll be discussing Kelly and Lauren from Survivor: The Edge of Extinction. Now this duo may have formed from fandom, with Lauren stating pre-game, and I also believe in her opening confessional, that Kelly Wentworth was right up there with her favourite player of all time. She was then lucky enough to be put on the same tribe with Kelly, and they stuck together from beginning to end. Now whilst they were pretty unlucky to be on the weaker tribe, otherwise known as the tribe without Joe Anglim, they saw a lot of tribal councils together but were always on the same page. They both found an idol each and looked to be a powerful force together the further the game went on. Wardog unfortunately made a questionable move to get rid of his biggest shield in the game in Kelly Wentworth, which sent her and her idol packing. And Kelly then revealed Lauren's idol to Chris, which resulted in him using that information to his advantage to get the win of this season. But there is no mistaking that these two formed an amazing bond out there, and one that I hope is still strong to this day. So moving along to the top 5 baby. In 5th position we have another fantastic duo that was able to take it almost all the way to the end, and that is Scout and Twyla within Survivor Vanuatu. These two were one win away from sitting next to each other in the final 2 this season, with Chris Doherty swooping in and being able to make the deciding decision to take Twyla to the end of the game and get the win. It was absolutely amazing to see 2 of the elder women this season being able to go this far in the game, joining forces together and really making a fantastic team. And this is especially important in old school Survivor, with this type of archetype being renowned for being the first boot or going home early. They were able to align with the other older women within the women's tribe, and were able to make moves to ensure that the numbers went their way. It would have been a really interesting finish to see if Twyla was able to beat out Chris in the challenge for the final 2, to see a battle between Scout and Twyla in the finale. It would have been a really nice finish to this season for those two if it were to eventuate that way. They were a great duo, and it is really a shame we haven't seen either of them return since their initial appearance. Moving along to 4th position, it was a really fantastic feel-good alliance within Survivor Game Changers of Cirie and Michaela. This was a bit of a mentor and student team, with Cirie being a legend in the game and a real game changer featured in this season, and with Michaela coming off Millennials vs Gen X as a fierce challenge competitor, but also coming into this season as a dark horse, given no one in the game really knew who she was when she stepped foot on the beach, even though it was a returnee season as her original season hadn't aired at the time of filming. Cirie really took Michaela under her wing this season, teaching her some fundamentals of the game and of life in the process, being able to get to the top 6 together before she misread the fine print to force Sarah to take out Cirie's biggest ally in Michaela at that very tribal council. I believe they were one of, if not the first, all-female African-American team this season, which really enhanced their bond and really captured the audience's hearts with how they progressed further in the game together. They are 2 of my absolute favourite players, both extremely intelligent women who I really enjoy watching play this crazy game of Survivor, and enjoy watching them every single time they set foot on the beach. And moving right along to that 3rd position, we have to have Parvati and Amanda, probably the best female strategic duo this game has ever seen. And we're going to be focusing in on Survivor Micronesia. So in their second time playing the game, Parv and Amanda joined forces with their couples alliance along with Ozzy and James, and they were able to reel in Cirie to take control of the game early. They were able to start the Black Widow Brigade, one of the best and most famous alliances ever, consisting of all women, and they were able to take it all the way to the end, sitting next to each other in that final 2. Other than Parvati cutting Ozzy when the moment was right, these two remained loyal until the very end. Their relationship was so tight that even when they split in heroes versus villains, Parvati was able to pick up on Amanda's tell pretty easily to pull off her double idol play to get her to the end of that season as well. They are an extremely dangerous duo together, and I think strategically they would have to be at the top of this list. But moving on to second position, I've got to go with the absolutely hilarious duo of Sandra and Courtney within Survivor Heroes vs Villains. Fist pump, girl. Now these two are just comedy gold and some of the best characters this game has ever seen. Their combined hatred of Russell was hilarious to watch, how they were always on the Sandra sit-out bench together, and in addition to these hilarious antics, they really looked out for each other in the game as well. When Courtney was in the firing line, Sandra was not going to allow that to happen, spinning a lie in Russell's ear to shift the target onto Coach, which kept her best friend in the game around. As there were so many fantastic characters and gamers this season, they didn't get as much screen time as they deserved, but when they did, it was absolutely amazing. I could watch either of them play the game infinite times and it would not get old. They are two absolute legends of the game, and again added some fantastic television moments outside of the strategic components this season of Survivor. A phenomenal duo to say the least. And finally, now in first position, there is no doubt in my mind that the duo of Heidi and Jenna is leaps and bounds the greatest female duo in Survivor history. Self-proclaimed as the cuter girls of the tribe, these two were able to work their magic together and be a fantastic long-lasting duo within Survivor the Amazon. They really built a bond like no other. Again, going past the surface level of obviously being very attractive women and being renowned for their antics to get peanut butter and chocolate, they really did care for each other and never would have turned on each other in the game. Jenna even made history this season in being the first person to give up individual immunity to Heidi at the final 6 when she thought she was in danger. Obviously being a really risky move from a game perspective. This may have ironically won her the game, but she also really seemed to do this because she wanted her friend to succeed and wanted to be that person to help her succeed. From everyone listed in this countdown, I feel as though Jenna and Heidi were the two closest within their original season. They would have done anything to assist the other from a strategic level or a friendship level, and were always there for one another when the going got tough. A phenomenal duo from this amazing season, and definitely deserving of the best female duo to ever play the game of Survivor. So there you have it, 10 of the best all-female duos in Survivor history. Who is your favourite all-female team? Please let me know down in the comments. Remember to like, comment and subscribe with more Survivor videos coming each and every week. This is Analytical Strategy and we are signing out once again. I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.